So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzamus, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empires free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. There is a wind, obviously, but fortunately, I upgraded the camera, so this camera, I'm really hoping there's nothing will happen, because I think this camera has got some filters as well, so we don't get a lot of external disturbances from the wind. Now, I'm going to talk about the Hoover. The black sheep, you're going to be hoovered. You're going to be hoovered. Now, before we talk about the Hoover, let us understand that the family is going through chaos. The family you've left behind, you've discarded them, they have discarded you. Actually, most of the time, the scapegoats, they discard themselves. It is very few chances that the scapegoat, you will be, it may happen, but usually the scapegoat, upon awakening, you are usually going to discard yourselves. Now, of course, you are going to see a lot of times the family is going into chaos. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of smear campaign, a lot of, the whole thing is shaking up. You know what I mean? You have awakened, and the whole entire family is shaking up back home. Now, of course, this shake-up will take a while. Of course, in that time there will be also silence. Nobody will be contacting you at the same time, so everybody will go quiet on you. They will go ghost on you. Actually, you will notice that everybody is quiet. Nobody wants to call you. Nobody is talking to you, because you have discarded the family. Okay, so there will be a lot of blaming. Of course, you'll be blamed for, you are the one who is trying to bring a lot of chaos here. Everything was okay. Now you are doing this, and so there will be a lot of course, they will point a lot of fingers at you because you have discarded the family and you've decided to go your own way and heal. Nobody was expecting you to heal, because remember that I've told you guys that it's only healing that will bring you back to authenticity, and even sometimes put you on your purpose. That thing that you even never thought that you would do. Now, of course, the family back home, when the dust settles, depending on how long it may take a while. The dust may sometimes settle up to 6 months, yeah, even sometime 2. Depends on what kind of family you're dealing with. The dust will settle sometimes, but in the inside of each and every member of the family, they will know that there is something happening. They will know, they will feel that there is something that is something has changed. It will never be business as usual for those units. Now, eventually, you're out there, of course, you're working on yourself. You're going to start to see there will be certain members of the family, because remember that the narcissistic parent at the top, there are people who don't want to show how vulnerable they are. So they want only to show everybody that they are still on game. They are still on in charge of everything and stuff like that. And for them to avoid the humiliation, or sometimes to run away from the humiliation and embarrassment, so what they will usually do, they will pick up some other family members in the unit. Like I've said, of course, they will have replaced the scapegoat by the time you're gone. That thing normally happens between about a month or 2 for them to replace a new scapegoat, to get up, to recruit a new scapegoat in the unit. But at the same time, they are missing you, and they are missing your energy. Now, a lot of family members do not understand this dysfunction. It is only you as a black sheep that deeply understands this dysfunction and how the family operates. And a lot of family members, they're also in denial, so they don't want to accept that the whole thing is actually messed up. You know what I mean? Now, you will be reached out by cousins. You will sometimes see cousins, they will reach out to you. Oh, Denzo, there's this thing happening. There's been a wedding happening here. There is this person getting married, or there's this and there's that. There's a graduation, there's a baptism. So sometimes you'll see that a lot of these messages starting to come in left and right, and they want you to attend. Now, those kind of invitations, I want you to be very careful, black sheep and scapegoats. Those sort of invitations, they are not inviting you because they love you. They are not inviting you because all of a sudden they miss you, but because you left. When you left the unit, everybody went quiet and they started smearing your name and gossiping about you and saying all this crap they wanted about you. But now all of a sudden they miss you, and of course they want you to come for this baptism and the graduations and the parties and all the stuff like that. Now, of course, those will be the first hovers that will come in. They will be inviting you for these little occasions. Oh, it's been a long time. Oh, we have not seen you for 6 years, 6 months. You know what I mean? And it's even funny. It's funny and even embarrassing at the same time, because you see, all of them people reaching out to you, they are not asking you the real reason that you left. They are not asking you to explain something. They are not asking you, maybe you need to explain the things that you know. They are not asking you the real problem. You are not talking about the real problem that you left. The only thing they are talking about, they want you back. They do not have a reason why they want you back. They do not say the reason. They do not even give you the details of what is happening in the family. The only thing they want you, oh, you come for this birthday, come for this graduation, come for this wedding, and the things like that. If you ever hear those kind of messages, ladies and gentlemen, people are starting to text you, your cousins. It will not be usually the narcissistic parent who is going to do that. It is going to be the job of the flying monkeys. So the narcissistic parent is going to use the flying monkeys to reach out to you. Of course, if you're a person who stands your ground and you know that you have nothing to do with those individuals, they are sometimes going to send other individuals to come in. So sometimes you will see there will be distant relatives. For example, the narcissistic parent may reach out to distant uncles, even sometimes uncles they have never spoken with in years. And these uncles are going to reach out to you. These aunties are going to reach out to you. Oh, we have heard about your father. Your father has been talking about you. But when are you coming around to check on the family? The stuff like that. You are going to see the hovers are going to come in. The thing you're supposed to remember, ladies and gentlemen, why did you leave that family in the first place? You're supposed to remind yourself each and every single day, why did you leave the unit? The moment you have come to that awareness of who you really are and your role in that family unit, you are going to know the things I'm talking about are going to happen, and you will see actually these things manifest. Now, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, do not go for those hovers. Those are it's like a setup. The whole thing is a setup, and most of the times, if you ever decide to go back to those units, they are going to punish you. But for them to punish you, they're supposed to first of all hoover you back and trick you into coming back to the unit, and then when you go there, they're going to punish you. It may be physically, it can be spiritually, it can be so many different kinds of ways. It can even be sometimes financially, but they're going to crumble you. Why? They're punishing you because you left the unit at some point in time, and nobody was happy with that move. Now, another way they can hoover you, for example, if that hoover fails, of course, because the black sheep, you scapegoats, you already know, you stand your ground, you're doing your own thing, you're out there working on yourself, you're healing. They are going to send the second hoover is going to come in by they are going to trigger a serious situation in the house. This may be something the narcissistic parent has actually deliberately triggered by themselves. Like, of course, I've told you guys, sometimes these narcissistic parents, they will actually injure themselves because they want to catch everybody's attention and everybody's sympathy. And you're going to hear a lot of people calling you, oh, you know what, the father is in the hospitals, and you need to come around and check on dad and check on this. You know what I mean? They will be quiet. Even sometimes this thing can take a couple of years, ladies and gentlemen. It can even take sometimes 5 years. And then you're going to see people are going to come around and tell you, oh, the father is in hospital, they are there, they are sick, and this and this thing like that. This is why I've told you sometimes that for the black sheep, it may be sometimes getting very tricky, because now you may be a person who wants to see, maybe it's your last, is his or her last days on earth, and you might have to go there to say goodbye or things like that, because sometimes they're going to call you and they tell you that the father or your mother is in critical condition. You know what I mean? You might have to go, but ladies and gentlemen, I do not advise. Most of the times I've told you guys, black sheep, scapegoats, you are going to miss barriers. There is going to be people in those families, and you're going to have to miss barriers. It is going to be very, very painful, but these are some of the things you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to establish your safety. That is very important. Number one, your safety is very, very important. If you go there, these are the things. I don't know your family better. You know your family better than me. So you need to ask yourselves the questions. When I go to that hospital, wherever that person is, or to visit them or things like that, how safe am I? Am I really protected? Because remember that you are the one who caused this entire case. Everything is on you. You have always been scapegoated your entire life. So the whole baggage is on you. And nobody is willing to take any responsibility for their BS. So when they are calling you, it's a trick to trap you, because they want you to come back. They find a way to suck you in, and when you go there, they're going to punish you, most of the cases. If they cannot do it physically, like I've said, they may actually set you up for something. They may set you up for, so this is like, for example, an ambush. They may try to ambush you unknowingly, You have got to know they are going to do everything in their power to make sure that they punish you. They are going to revenge. You can expect the revenge to happen in that family. A lot of those family members, from the moment that you walked away from that unit, everybody knew that you are the one who caused this whole problem. And even sometimes you hear a lot of those narcissistic parents, they'll be telling their other family members, everything is because of so, everything is because of so and so, everything was okay before, and now all of a sudden they start all this chaos, and it's making them sick, and it's making them this, and it's making them ill, all this kind of stuff. You're going to hear a lot of crap when you're dealing with this kind of dysfunctional family units. Don't fall for it, ladies and gentlemen. It has nothing to do with you. The dysfunction has already been there. These patterns have already been there. This is trauma that these people have already been dealing with. You have got nothing to do with this trauma. So you're supposed to know that everything that they're doing is a setup, but you have best believe, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this from experience. You will be hoovered, like I've said. There will be cousins. There will be distant family members. There will be some aunties and uncles. And then eventually you're going to see the hoovers coming in from the real family members. And these are going to be serious hoovers, whereby they're going to tell you a very serious situation. Something has happened, the house is on fire, dad has gotten in an accident, or mama has gotten in an accident, dad is in hospital, and the things like that. And you're supposed to make a critical decision if you really want to go and attend that or not. I do not decide for you, but in my own opinion, ladies and gentlemen, you have nothing to do with that. It is going to be very painful, ladies and gentlemen. There are people who are going to pass away, and you're not going to be able to attend. There is things you're going to miss in that family. You will never be the same, and life will never be the same. Do not fall for the hoovers. When you go, you're going to be sucked back in, and the cycle is going to repeat. So the moment you pop back in there, they're going to push the replay button, and the cycle is going to repeat. This time it's even going to be worse, because you're going to be punished for walking away. So of course, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you have seen these hoovers I'm talking about. Leave us a comment, of course, like and subscribe, and until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.